Are you a travelpreneur who dreams of building a thriving business that gives you more time, financial freedom, and the flexibility to work from anywhere? Then you're in the right place, my friend. This is the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. I'm Lindsay Dollinger, and I've built multiple six-figure businesses while traveling the world, living life on my terms, and helping women entrepreneurs do the same. Whether you're a travel advisor, an online business owner, or someone looking to add more adventure and income to your life, this podcast is here to guide you. Each episode, I'll bring you business strategies that actually work, productivity hacks, branding and marketing expertise, and plenty of pixie dust fun to help you create a business that fuels your passion for both profits and travel. So if you're ready to scale your business, attract more leads, and build a brand that lets you work from anywhere in the world, let's dive in and create and own your magic together.
Hey friend, welcome back. And today's topic I think is going to get a lot of really great feedback because it's a question I get asked all the time. And I also think it is a question, or I guess a topic that a lot of people talk about. My arm is like cut off because of the color of my shirt today. That's so funny. Here, let's see. Let's get me some arms. There we go. If you're watching it on video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I have like a Disney background and I'm recording on StreamYard because I'm not at my house right now. And anyway, the backgrounds on it is not very good. I'm just going to be completely honest. StreamYard, you got to figure that out. Anywho, this is a topic that I think a lot of people start sharing about. And also a lot of people think like, I can grow a business in an hour a week or in pockets of time. And yes, you can. And it's not going to look the same as someone who like fully goes all in and dedicates a set amount of time and is very disciplined and treats their business like a business. Like it's just not the same, right? So today we're going to talk about how I realistically grow my business in 20 hours a week. And hopefully you can take some things away from this to apply to your own life and business and spend maybe a little less time, or not even spend a little bit less time, but spend your time on things that are actually intentional and are going to bring you revenue, bring you, actual results into your business. So if you do not know me, hello, my name is Lindsay Dollinger. I'm a travel agency owner of At Last I See the World Travel. I'm a marketing strategist for travel advisors, which I was thinking about this too this morning on my drive, that's one of the things I feel like sets me apart as an agency owner is that I am a business coach at heart. So I'm helping you not only become a really awesome travel agent, travel advisor, but I'm also helping you become the CEO of your business, which I think is a really huge missing piece that I've noticed in this industry is they're two separate things. Are you a good business owner? Are you actually paying attention to your taxes, your systems, actually making money? Or are you just really good at booking trips? I think both are important for us to be successful. So I'm your go-to girl for turning your love of travel into actual income. So welcome. And I do that without you burning out. That's the whole point of doing this. So today's episode, as I mentioned, we're talking about something that I know so many of you want, and that is growing your dream business and making real money and having actual freedom, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, all of the above, without working 40, 50, 60 plus hours a week. Because we do that, we get burnout. And then, why are we actually doing this, right? Because no one says out loud, you don't need more time. You need better decisions. But I'm going to tell you that today because I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. What you actually need to do, what you need to believe, and what you need to give up. And this is where it's going to get a little spicy. So part 1 is the things that you actually need to do, the strategy, the bread and butter. Those of you who are maybe a little more masculine energy like myself, you love a good strategy. This is the part where you're going to want to take some notes. And also, especially if you are newer here, but just in general, I don't sugar fluff. Is that a word? Sugarcoat or fluff things up. I'm trying to make it sugar fluff. I want to get down to the business. I want to get down to the nitty gritty. So a lot of my podcast episodes are no more than a half an hour. Usually my longer ones are when I have a guest on. Because I know I like to listen to things that are short, sweet, to the point. I want to pull out the nuggets that I can work for me. I want something that inspires me to think about myself and my business a little more. And then I want to go and apply it. And so that's one of my biggest things too for saving time is actually applying the things that you are learning and not spending too much time on the learning piece, especially if you're not new. Okay, so first thing that I want to encourage you to actually start doing is focus on revenue driving activities only, because not all tasks are created equal. So I want you to answer this honestly. Did you do today I closed out my notes. Did you do today what you actually needed to do to move your business forward and to move money into your business? That's question one. Because posting random content, rearranging your Canva folders, watching 12 trainings, those are all great, but they're not necessarily directly income producing activities. Your core activities should be starting conversations, following up with people, making offers. So like, this is how I can help you plan your trip, making sure people know what you do, and nurturing your leads, emails, DMs, etc. If it doesn't connect directly to a sale, it's secondary. And I'm not saying your secondary things are not important, but when we are especially auditing our time and making sure that we are spending our time on the things that matter, those are going to be the things that are our money-making activities, our money moves, okay? The second thing is building simple, repeatable systems. And I say this, I feel like I talk about systems on almost every podcast episode that I do, because systems are so important. Systems are what has saved me time. Systems are what has saved me from dropping the ball on things. So if you're starting from scratch every time, of course, it's going to take you 40 hours to do things. If you want to take less time doing things, then you need a clear process from your inquiry to your booking to how am I going to quote? How are they getting these proposals? How am I following up, etc. You need email templates, especially once people are booked. And you need some follow-up systems. You also need some content that you can reuse and repurpose. So all of these 4 systems that I just mentioned, these are why I love tools like Turn, TravelJoy. If you're a TravelJoy user, Travelify is another option as well, Vacation CRM. They're going to help you streamline things instead of reinventing the wheel. This is also why I create templates inside of Canva and I reuse them. You can even schedule things directly from Canva to your social media. This is also why I use SmarterQueue to repurpose my content, to schedule my content out into multiple places. So I go in there, I create a post once, but I can click for it to go to my Pinterest, my Instagram, heck, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you want it to go. I might even go to Threads now, actually, too. I have the plan where I go to 4 accounts though, but I could easily pay more to go to other accounts if I wanted to. And I will drop my referral link. It also comes with a little coupon down below for SmarterQueue if you want to give it a try. I think it's a 30-day trial. See if you like it. This is also why I invest in templates from things like Rita Perez's cruise content library, because I haven't been on all the cruise ships. I haven't been on all the river cruise ships. And even before I had been on a river cruise last summer, I knew I wanted to sell them. So in order to sell them, I'm going to need some content. And I don't want the content necessarily from my suppliers. I want content from someone who's been there and basically kind of looks like you've been there, right? And you can pull it and you can pull this B-roll, pull it directly from, the cruise content library into Canva, make a reel, schedule it through SmarterQueue. I can do all of this on my desktop and not ever leave. So those are like examples of my system. So I have a system for my inquiries. I have a system for my email templates. They're all in there. So even with Turn, all I have to do is type in the type of trip. So I have a system set up for, my AMA waterways. I have a system set up for river cruises, for ocean cruises, for Disney, Universal, etc. And I go in there and I add a tag and then it automatically auto-populates all my emails. Like, what a huge time saver. And then it also auto-populates all my tasks. And I have my tasks set up. So like, for example, for dining, for me to check in with my families 2 weeks before dining opens for Disney so that I can say, well, I actually have this automated as well. Hey, let me know which dining you want. We can hop on a call and I can explain how it works so I can go in and do your dining. And I have these tasks set up so then I get an email notification the night before. Hey, you need to set your alarm for in the morning because you got to do dining for the Smith family. Okay, so all of this stuff is going to not only just save you time, but it also saves your energy. That's why systems are so important. So I don't have to be worrying about I'm not waking up in the middle of the night oh my gosh, did I remember to tell them XYZ? Because it's all automated, it's all scheduled out. Okay, let's see how many more. We have 2 more things in the you need to start doing this category. The third thing is creating content that converts, not just posting to be posting. So if you haven't listened to my episode, I think I put it out in January or February of this year about the CASTLE framework. Go back and listen to that. I'm going to review the CASTLE framework for you because this is my framework that I created to help you make sure that your posts are actually converting. So CASTLE stands for capture attention. That's the C. A is for build authority. We want you to be the expert, right? S is for sharing a story. stories, sell. T is for creating trust. L is for leading them somewhere. What's their process? What's the step? What do you want them to do with it? And then E is engaging. You are getting in and you're engaging back with comments. You're engaging with other people's profiles and things like that, so that we are creating those relationships while also positioning ourselves as an expert. If your content isn't doing those things, you are just posting to post. And we're not doing that anymore. It's just a waste of time. And then the fourth thing that you're going to start doing is protecting your time like it's your highest paying client. Because it is. Working less requires boundaries. It requires focused work blocks. It requires saying no to things that don't move the needle, or no to those things that don't earn you commission. Do you need to be booking flights for people without getting paid for it? No, you don't. You don't need more hours. You need more intentional hours. So intention is kind of the theme of all of this on the things that we get to do. So I'm going to recap those 4 things for you again. The first thing is to focus on your revenue driving activities only. The second is to build simple, repeatable systems and actually use them. The third is to create content that converts. And the fourth is to protect your time like it's your highest paying client. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to do. Now let's talk about what you need to believe without getting too woo-woo. This is where a lot of people get stuck, even if they have the strategy, is this belief portion. The first thing that you need to believe is you don't need to be everywhere. I promise you. You don't need to be on every platform, on every trend, on every strategy. You need a specific audience, one clear message, and a few consistent channels. More is not better, clear is better. This is one reason I like SpiderCube, because I can make one post for my one audience and I can stick it out in other places if I want to. The second thing that you need to believe is that simple works. We don't have to overcomplicate things. We don't need to have a million different systems and softwares and AIs and all this stuff. If you want to, great. If it's overwhelming you, if it is complicated, if it is a block that is stopping you from doing things, then we don't do it. There is a version of your business that works without a complicated funnel, fancy tech, overwhelming systems. But most people don't just trust simple. We overcomplicate everything. So let's just make it simple. The third thing that you get to believe, you are allowed to want ease. This one matters. Because somewhere along the way, we learned that hard equals valuable and busy was successful. And that's not always true. But what if your business could feel a little lighter and could be more fun and could be more flexible and still make money? You have to believe that's possible, or you will subconsciously sabotage it every time. Been there, done. And the fourth thing that you need to believe is your job is not to do more. This kind of goes back with the other one. It's to decide better, to be more intentional. And this is the shift. High-level business owners aren't doing more. They are choosing what matters, they are letting go of what doesn't, and they are repeating what works. And usually those things are the simple things. You need to believe in yourself. You are the expert. You do have the ability to do this. You don't get to care anymore what others think or what they're doing. We don't care what Crazy Aunt Janet thinks about our travel business, yes? Because we are focused on you and your big goals. You have your blinders on. We're not looking left and right. We are going straight. We're going forward. We're getting to our end destination. And you do this by showing up for yourself. And you show up for yourself by showing up for your business and leading, that's not the word, following through, not leading, following through with your commitments and what you say you're going to do for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your clients. You show up for yourself every day by doing the things that we already mentioned. Yes? Okay, and let's talk about the things that we need to give up. This is the part where I'm going to lovingly call you out a little bit, myself included. One, and this has kind of been a theme throughout here, the need to be busy. Busy does not equal productive. We can spend 20 really intentional hours in our business and have the same productivity, if not better, than working 40 or 50. You have to stop filling time just to feel accomplished. Go into the day, have your day, have your week, whatever, already scheduled and planned out so that when you wake up, you get to work in the morning, you have your list of tasks that you know you're going to be doing because you planned it the night before you signed off for the night, so that we can sleep better. We can have energy that is for the things that we want to have energy for, not just sucked into our business. The second thing that we're giving up is perfectionism. Perfectionism is slowing you down, especially in your marketing, in your social media. That caption doesn't need to be perfect. That email doesn't need to be perfect. The offer, whatever doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be done and out there to the world. Now, the things that do get our time that we do double and triple check are those important things like our hotel reservations, our airline reservations, that everyone's name matches the passport, et cetera, right? We spend more time on those emails that we're going to keep reusing in our sequences and in our automations. But if you're just sending a quick email back to a client answering a question about their favorite, I don't know, gluten-free restaurant at Disney, you don't need to read it 10 times and put it into ChatGPT so it sounds XYZ, right? Like you just need to get that stuff out there and get it done. The third thing that we get to stop doing is over-consuming content. This one's big. If you're constantly watching trainings, I do love me a good training, don't get me wrong. Listening to podcasts, I'm not going to tell you not listen to podcasts because hopefully you're listening to podcasts right now. Learning one more thing, scrolling to seeing what other people are doing, but you're not actually implementing, you're not actually putting out content yourself, you are stuck in productive procrastination. So one thing that I like to do for this is I don't allow myself to do the training or to scroll or do whatever until I have made a post for the day, until I have done a money-making activity, until I have done something, and then I can do a training, some scroll time. The other thing that I really try hard to do is take at least one, action step away from a training that I'm going to do that I'm going to complete within the next, ideally hour or two. Because I know if I wait 24 or 48 or heaven forbid longer than that amount of time, most likely I'm not going to be doing anything. So, if I'm doing a training, for example, about Virgin Voyages, then I'm going to make a post or make an email, or I'm going to reach out to someone who I think would be a good fit for Virgin Voyages, maybe even before I get off that webinar. Okay. So make sure you're getting something done from that content that you're consuming. And the fourth, I have two left. Fourth thing is trying to help everyone. Everyone's not our client, not our ideal client, especially, right? This one's a big one for travel advisors, especially because when you try to market to everyone, no one feels like you're for them. Clarity equals clients. So let's stop the helping and working with everyone. And this last one, the timeline you thought it should take. Ooh, that one burns a little bit. We get to leave that behind. Your business doesn't look like anyone else's besides yours. Your business doesn't need to look like anyone else's besides yours. And honestly, trying to rush it is how we get to burnout, and how we get to mistakes, how we get to bad decisions. Your stories that you don't have the time or the money or the whatever resources you need to travel more. I don't know about you, but I always get more quote requests and questions during and after travel. That's always a thing. So let's leave those stories behind and make time for our time. Make better money decisions. Make sure we are planning time for us to travel. We are travel advisors so that we can get on the timeline that works for us and works for our business. And when you are able to really solidly go through and really work on these mindset pieces, especially the pieces that you need to give up, when you're able to make those mindset shifts and leave the things behind that are not serving us and step into the things that are, you don't need to be everywhere. Simple actually does work. Doing the business basics actually does work. You're allowed to want ease and not be burnt out. Your job is to not do more. It's to decide better things. And you don't need to be busy. You don't need to be perfect. We don't overconsume content anymore. We don't try to help everyone anymore. And our timeline is our timeline. Those 9 things, it just makes a huge difference. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference. So if you take nothing else from this episode, take this. You can build a successful business in 20 hours a week. You cannot build it, though, the same way as someone who's working 60 hours a week. You cannot build it the same way as someone who has a team, who has a virtual assistant. I have a virtual assistant. She helps me schedule out my marketing. I'm not going to lie, because I'm still working a full-time job. I can't do all the things, right? You building a business the way you want it to be, it's going to require focus. It's going to require simplicity and systems. It's going to require some boundaries. And it's going to require a willingness to let go of what's not working for you. Even if it's working for someone else, great. That's great. It's their business. But if it's not working for you, let's let it go. Or let's figure out a way to make it work for us. And if you're sitting here thinking, okay, I get it, but I actually need help doing this, that's kind of my jam, friend. So make sure you listen to other podcast episodes. You can go back and scroll through, find out some of those things. I do have a planner and tracker. I don't talk about it a lot on here. I do have a business planner and tracker, a print version. If you want to grab that, I'll post the link in the show notes. It's through a publisher called lulu.com. They're absolutely amazing. And I also do limited one-on-one, just so you know, because I know right now I'm kind of in between. Like I closed down my travel agent membership, so I don't have that for you to hop into, but I do have some limited one-on-ones. And if you're listening to this, you're not a travel advisor yet, and you want to be, I do have a travel agency where I train and mentor new travel agents to join my agency. So that's also an option. So if this episode hit for you, I would love it if you shared it or you tagged me, because this is the kind of business we're building. It's profitable, it's flexible, and it's actually fun to run. All right, friend, go out there, create and own your magic, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope you're leaving today inspired, princess, to create, own, and spread your magic to the world. If you found value in this episode or know a girlfriend who needs to hear it, would you screenshot it and send it to her? And if you're feeling really generous, pop it up on your IG stories and tag me at Lindsay Dollinger so I can see you loved it and tell you thank you. I appreciate you. Now let's go do some amazing things. Bye-bye. Hey, fellow Disney lover, are you looking for magical, comfy fashion? Then you need to check out Bella Bling Shop. Bella Bling's size-inclusive line is perfect for park hopping, princess races, or just adding a bit of everyday magic into your life. Much of the artwork of this comfortable clothing line is hand-drawn, unique artwork. I know this because I watch my sister do it. Yes, this is my sister's shop, and she takes so much time and care into everything that she creates. Every single piece is special. So again, whether you are just getting excited, going to the parks, whether you're getting ready to run a race, or whether you just want to add a little bit of Disney fashion into your life, make sure you check out Bella Bling's adorable, comfortable styles. Visit www.bellablingshop.com. You know I'll put that in the show notes for you. And make sure you use code PODCAST, all capital letters, to get 10% off your first order. Tag me when you get it, and I want to see what you decide.